Hello, hello, crafty friends. Yana Smakula here, and welcome to day one unboxing of the 12 Days of Stitchmas Advent Calendar with Spellbinders. If you are a follower of mine, if you've been following me for some time, you know that I also did the unboxing of the 13 days of Craftoween. Let me go ahead and grab that box. Here it is. I didn't do all 13 days. I only did 9. It was a little bit too much for me. I wanted to do all of them, but I kind of ran out of time, and I was also feeling a bit overwhelmed, and I wanted to go on vacation. So that's what I did. So that's why I didn't have all of the 13 days for you, but I had every intention of making 13 videos, but I didn't. Life gets in the way. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed. Sometimes I feel like it's too much, so I kind of have to take a break, hit pause, and relax. And I'm glad that I did, because I came back very much refreshed. I came back with new ideas. In fact, I came back and I started designing my new collection with Spellbinders. So yay for that. Anyhow, today we are looking at day one of the 12 Days of Stitchmas Advent Calendar with Spellbinders. So this is one of the 2 Advent calendars from Spellbinders this year. Maybe I should say one of the 3 Advent calendars, because we also have the Crafty Advent calendar and then the Craftoween. Of course, the Craftoween sold out like hotcakes. It sold out in 1 or 2 days. I'm not sure if this is sold out already. I am filming this in advance because that's how I work. It's very hard for me to film, the day before the video goes live. So whenever I have time, that's when I film. So oftentimes, I will show you a product like this, and it might be already sold out. Hopefully this is not sold out, because I know Spellbinders had very good stock levels on this and also on the Crafty Advent calendar, but fingers crossed. Anyhow, so this is the 12 Days of Stitchmas. We have 12 surprises, 12 die sets in this Advent calendar. This is just all dies. There's nothing else in this Advent calendar. You have 12 die sets, and these are all stitching die sets. We have sneak peeks on the back, and check out my other video where I talk a little bit more in depth about this Advent calendar. I don't want to take too much time in this video talking about it. I just want to jump right into day one, open the day one, see the beautiful dies, and start creating. You guys ready? Ta-da! Oh, we have a beautiful ornament. Okay, so this year Spellbinders now has the design printed on the window, on the inside of the flap, just to make it easier for you to understand what the dies are, what they are meant to make. And then you have the dies packaged in a little baggie. Sometimes the baggies rip and your dies might go flying all over the box. So if you open let's say you open your window and there's nothing in there, it can be in there. It probably is in there, but it probably fell to the bottom. So in that case, you will need to open the box from the side or from the bottom, open the box and get your dies out. The design of the Advent calendar box from Spellbinders has been improved over the years. So hopefully this is not happening in case you are one of the very, very, very few people that this does happen to. You know what to do. And also in case you are missing 1 or 2 of the dies according to the design. Again, make sure, check if your baggie did not rip. If it did rip, the die is probably somewhere in there. So just look for it. Anyhow, this is kind of cool. I really like this. Also, I've already mentioned this, but I really love these illustrations. They are so, so inspiring. Okay, let me go ahead and open this baggie. Okay, I had to zoom in a little bit because I was too zoomed out. So we have a nice size ornament. We have some drop-ins, some inserts to add to the ornaments. We have this piece, and we have, okay, so this goes here, this goes here, and we even have a little sentiment banner. Oh my gosh, says Noel. Awesome. Ornament topper. This die, I'm not sure about the other dies, but this die, the stitchable add-ons are removable. So you can take them out if you don't want to do any stitching, and you can have just the beautiful ornament without the stitching. And also, I'm sure, like with any other stitching die out there, if you don't like stitching, or if you don't feel like stitching, you don't have to stitch it. You can just leave it as is, and pretty much all the time, it looks beautiful without any of the stitching. I'm going to hit pause, do the die cutting, maybe do the stitching, maybe not. We'll see. And I'll be back to show you what I made. I went ahead and I did some die cutting, and I have all of the parts and pieces cut out. By the way, I have my kittens playing with a jingle bell in the background. I just fixed one of their toys because they broke it, and I attached some jingle bells. So they're playing in the background. So in case you hear some funky noises, you guys know what it is. So here I have the parts and pieces cut out, and this is actually a very, very cool die. So first of all, you have the ornament shape. Here I have a cut from brushed white, poppy, brushed white again. I'll come back to this in a second. You also have the insert, and when you cut these two together, you end up with a piece that looks like this. Isn't that beautiful? Oh goodness, I love all of this detail. All of these little dots and the cutouts, so stunning. If I layer this over the white, you can actually see some of the white in the background. So that looks really nice. So you can use these two together. And then if you bring these three, actually, these are the stitchable add-ons. You add these, you cut these out, and you add them on top. And you can stitch them, or you can decide to not stitch them. Up to you what you want to do. I actually do plan to do some stitching in just a minute. But here you can see how beautiful that looks, even without the stitching. Isn't that gorgeous? Just stunning. I love it. You can do tone on tone like I did here, or you can do different colors like I did here. For example, I have red for the background. I'm not sure if I'm going to do with red, if I'm going to go with red, but I have brushed white for the ornament base, and then I have the mere gold for the top, and that just looks amazing. I might do the white here, like so. Here I did the reverse, so I did the gold ornament, and then I did the brushed white inserts, so that looks really cool as well. We have other pieces in this die set. We have the ornament topper. I cut this one from mere gold as well. We have the little string. The string is a little short. I mean, it's not too short, but if you want to hang your ornament a little bit further down on the card, I have this card idea in my mind, and I kind of feel like that this might be a bit too short. You can use string, you can use gold floss, or, you know, some sort of fabric string on your card. So you have that. And then we have Noel. Here I cut this from red and white and also gold, and that looks really cool as well. Now let's go back to this solid piece, the outline shape. The outline shape also works great as a sentiment holder. So here I foiled Merry Everything and Happy Always from my City Holiday Collection sentiment set. I foiled this in gold foil. This is a better press sentiment. Let me grab it. So here it is. It's a better press sentiment, but with the better press sentiments, you can foil. So this is what I did, and it just looks stunning. I feel like I'm going to do this, you know, use the ornament shape as a placeholder for the sentiment, and then I'll do two of these ornaments for my card. So I have my card idea in mind. I'm just going to do some stitching. Oh, by the way, here I have a needle minder and some needles. This needle minder was included in the last year's add-on stitch along kit from Spellbinders. In fact, I was just checking, and these are still available on the website. Not the needle minder alone, but the stitch along kit. So if you want it, you can still grab it. It includes some floss, some cardstock. It's a really nice kit, especially if you don't really have a lot of supplies for stitching. And then I'm also going to use this cord from Vivant. I really like it. You can also use whatever you have in your stash. I'm just looking through my stash. So I have also this DMC thread. You can find this on the Spellbinders website as well. So this is the Diamant. This comes in a whole bunch of different colors. So yeah, lots of things you can do. Or, like I said, you can leave it without any stitching. Looks just as nice. Here's a look at my card featuring day 1 of the 12 Days of Stitchmas Advent Calendar from Spellbinders. I ended up not doing any stitching. I did stitch this ornament and it just looked a little bit too much for me. I feel like the thread that I used, it was this one from Vivant. I feel like it was just a little bit too thick. This one from DMC is about a half thinner. So maybe next time I try stitching with this one. But I do like the look of stitching dies without any stitching because the dies do have the little cut lines, or not cut lines, like mark lines added to the paper, so you don't really need to do the stitching. Here I used one ornament with the sentiment, merry everything and happy always. I also have 2 more ornaments. This one is from Poppy. This one is from Windy Cardstock from Spellbinders. I have added a few other things from my City Holiday collection. I have the foliage, the holly leaves, and also the berries from my Christmas cracker die set. The little bow that you see on all of these ornaments, that one is from that same collection as well. The sentiment is from that same collection also. And that's pretty much it. The background here, this is the dark green. This is midnight green cardstock from Simon Says Stamp. Spellbinders used to have a similar color cardstock in their previous color line, but they don't have this color in the new collection. So I reached for the Simon Says Stamp cardstock, but if you have something dark, a nice dark color of cardstock, you can use that for this card if you want to make a similar card. I also have the little Noel die cut from red cardstock, and then I used a white pen. This is my favorite Sakura pen, and I just added some dots to the background just to add something extra. I kind of feel like the background lacks a little bit of something, but I'm not sure what. I wanted to do embossing in the background, and I wanted to use my molded frame embossing folder, but I couldn't find it. I need to reorganize my craft room and be better at storing my supplies. I found all of my dies from my City Holiday collection, and I found my previous collection, the Yana's Daisies, and the molded frame embossing folder is from that collection, but I couldn't find the folder. I knew I had it set like somewhere separately because I was planning on using it, and there you go. I no longer know where it is. Let's go back to this design. I wanted to mention one more thing. So I have 3 ornaments here, and each ornament goes a little bit outside the edge of the card. So this one is trimmed, this one is trimmed, and so is this one. So this was sort of like my trick for this design. I have all of the pieces going outside the edge of the card. I have the string here going outside, the string here going outside a little bit. The only thing that's sticking out is this little foliage piece here. So this is day 1 of the 12 Days of Stitchmas Advent Calendar from Spellbinders. I had fun making this card. I had fun combining the pieces from my stash with the pieces from day 1, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with day 2. Love you guys. Bye.